Welcome back to Peak 15 on Novaria, guys. So, some pretty big events in the last episode. We had the big confrontation with Matriarch Benezia, who turned out not to be evil and a traitor or traitress and everything. She was actually subject to like a mind control by Seren. His ship sounds like it is Reaper tech, and that's how he's been mind controlling her and getting her to do his bidding using her power. And but she managed to keep a part of herself locked away, and she helped us, gave us some information about where Seren might be going to look for the... Oh, what was it called? It's called the... No, it's not the relay. It's... Anyway. I've got a lot of names that I have to remember, so... but then we had... but we had to fight her because she couldn't maintain control consistently, so she died, unfortunately. She got to say goodbye to Liara, which was nice. And then we had the whole dealings with the Queen, the Rachni Queen. And I decided to set her free. So, might prove to be a bad decision, but we are going to find out, so... I guess that means we can leave, right? Okay, so we defeated the Matriarch and eliminated the Rachni in the hot labs. Depart the Rift Station via the passenger tram that we arrived in. Okay. Good to know. There might be some more stuff in here, so we'll just have a little gander around the lab. I should have guessed from the map that this was a boss room. I mean, look at it. I'm still struggling a little bit with the combat. From what you guys told me, the combat system is overhauled in 2 and 3, so it should feel quite a bit different in those games. But I don't know if I might switch to a controller for those games. I feel like I will be better in combat with those kind of things. Like, I imagine there's a weapon wheel or something that we use, and I keep having to... I don't trust where I'm pressing buttons, basically. Okay, we need to go this way. Thanks for your help, Matriarch. You will be remembered. So, given that the Queen will be in control of her progeny, maybe they will build some kind of relationship with the Council, who knows? Who knows, maybe they'll emerge at some point. With the Krogan not really being a unified power right now, maybe no one will exterminate them again. Alright, we're getting out of here. Sorry about your mother, Liara. Let's go. Well, we won't know if we've done the right thing, right? We won't know until much later, which is the kind of decision that is really enjoyable, right? Maybe we'll encounter the Rachni on a foreign world at some point. I do find it's hard to believe, though, that they would have made... Oh.
What's our next move, Commander? Head for the Mu relay?
No.
The Mu relay could link to dozens of systems. Unless we know exactly where Seren's going, we'd just be wasting our time.
The Commander is right. We cannot rush off blind. We still need to learn more about Seren.
Who put you in charge? Did the Commander resign when I wasn't looking?
Calm down, Ashes.
We're all on the same team here, Williams. She's just trying to help.
Sorry, Commander.
It's alright, well, you don't need to berate your teammates.
Look, this is a tough mission. We're all on edge. Everyone go get some rest. Crew dismissed.
Novaria report is away, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Alright.
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
Is this report accurate, Commander? You found Rachni on Novaria?
And then released the Queen. Do you have any idea what you've done? How many generations until they overrun the galaxy?
I didn't just do it for the fuck of it, mate. She was a sentient creature, a being who communicated with me. I don't think that they will.
This Queen is different. She understands why her kind had to be wiped out last time around.
I hope you're right, Shepard. Our children's children will pay the price if you're not.
We'll be waiting for your next report, Commander.
I don't want to be misconstrued like Ashley might be with this comment, but in this hologram machine, not when we actually see them in person, but the Turian council member kind of looks a bit like an Aku Aku mask from Crash Bandicoot in the hologram. Not when we see him in person, just in the hologram. Anyway, I'm worse than Ashley now. Great. Alright, so we need to go talk to the crew. We will not be heading to Feros. There was a second solar system here, right? So there's that to check out, but it takes quite a while to talk to all of our crewmates, so we'll do that first. Hey there, Pressers.
Yes, Commander.
Does this dialogue change, aliens?
Speak freely, Presley.
I trust you, Commander. If you think they belong here, then so do I.
Carry on, Presley.
Okay,
Yes,
nothing
ma'am.
new. I don't think Joker's going to have anything new, right?
Boy, am I glad to be off of Novaria.
Aha!
I don't know which was worse, the cold or the corporations. One will freeze your balls off, the other will sell them out from under you. With all due respect, Commander.
Okay, great. None of these are new, right? I just want to chat, mate.
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is. You want me
No,
top
not
of my
this
class
again.
in flight school? I earned that. Put the norm.
I have to go.
Yes.
All right, see ya.
Okay, sorry, that he was repeating himself. Okay, we'll go chat to everyone downstairs. I was thinking Presley and Joker would get some new dialogue from time to time. So it might be important to go and talk to Liara first, because she's obviously going to be dealing with the death of her mother, and it all happened very fast. So I imagine that will be quite emotional for her. Shepard's locker. I don't know how this works. Why we get these upgrades. Hey there, Dr. Chakwa.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
No.
I should go.
Goodbye,
Nope, same,
Commander.
same dialogue options. Hey, Liara.
If you are here to talk about Benezia's death, you need not bother. She brought it upon herself.
You don't feel any emotions at her passing?
Don't pretend it doesn't bother you. She was your mother.
She was. But she was not. I prefer to remember Benezia as she used to be, before she was corrupted by Sovereign's power.
That version of her will still be with you as long as you remember her.
The best of your mother lives on in you. Her determination, her intelligence, her strength.
That is kind of you to say. I appreciate your concern, but I am fine. Benezia chose her path, just as I have chosen mine. I am with you until the end, Shepard.
Okay. Anything else about your mother?
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
Benezia was swept up in events beyond her control and lost herself. She fell under the spell of indoctrination and became part of the very thing she wanted to stop. But I will remember and honor how she lived, not how she died. My mother was strong, kind, and beautiful, and now she is gone.
She had eyebrows too, right? So that's where she gets her eyebrows from. I'm sorry for your loss.
Are you gonna be okay?
You are kind to ask, Shepard. I do miss her, and I grieve for what happened to her. But I will not let my grief interfere with what we are trying to accomplish.
Okay, so you want to change the subject? Tell me about yourself a bit more.
Maybe we could pick up where we left off. You were telling me about your interest in the Protheans.
Actually, I think I was talking about my interest in you, and making a fool of myself in the process. As I said, I am not used to dealing with people, especially humans. I did not really know much about your species when we first met, Shepard. I found it hard to take humanity seriously. Your kind always seemed so rushed and high-strung.
She was interested in me? What? What do you believe now?
Has your opinion changed at all?
It has. I have been watching you and your crew. It has taught me a lot about your species. You humans are creatures of action. You pursue your goals with an almost indomitable determination. It is an admirable trait, but also an intimidating one.
In what way?
You're scared of us?
Unfortunately, the rest of the galaxy sees humanity as something of a bully. You run over anyone in your path to get what you want. It is up to people like you to change their minds, Shepard.
I'll try, Liara.
I'm doing the best I can, Liara.
There is a reason the Council chose you to become a Spectre. They saw something special in you. The best of what humanity has to offer. I looked into your history. I know what happened on Akuz. The fact that you survived shows a remarkable strength.
You can't make all these assumptions about me just from knowing me for this short period of time, though. Yeah, it's a little bit weird. You could have asked before you did that.
You didn't need to go behind my back. I would have told you whatever you wanted to know.
I apologize, Commander. After our last conversation, I was afraid I would say something stupid again. I wanted to know more about you, to understand what made you into the woman you are. There is something compelling about you, Shepard.
Okay. Unacceptable! These renegade responses are really weird. Unacceptable, what the hell? I guess they're like really military, like someone talking to their subordinate. Yeah, I mean, are you interested in me or are you interested in the Prothean stuff? I mean, she seems quite logical with her answers, so I don't think she'd lie to say that she's interested in both. Is the reality. If she is interested in our personal history, she's interested in the beacon stuff as well. So it's a bit of an unfair question to ask that. A bit egotistical, I guess. All right, I'd like to believe that. Sure.
Are you sure you're interested in me, or is it my visions of the Protheans?
I admit, your connection to the Protheans had something to do with my initial interest, but it has grown beyond that.
Right.
You intrigue me, Shepard, but I was not sure if it was appropriate to act on my feelings. I thought there might already be a relationship between you and Lieutenant Alenko.
You're female! You're female? Does that mean what I think it means? Does that mean... But lesbianism, no! No, I'm not in a relationship with Caden. No.
The Lieutenant and I are just friends. Nothing more.
My mistake, then. I am not as adept at understanding human relationships as I thought. But what about us, Shepard?
Oh.
Is there a mutual attraction, or was I wrong about that too?
I really was not expecting this. At all. I have no idea what to say, guys. I have absolutely no idea. So I don't know, are the romance options always people from the crew? I really have no idea what to say. Yeah, I like Liara, she's cool, but I just... Okay, so we've only really had a kind of hint at a romance option being Caden, right? and he's all right, but I don't know. I don't really feel much of a connection towards him. I've not come into the game setting out to play my character as, you know, heterosexual, homosexual, bisexual, whatever. I've not set out with a plan because I didn't know what the options were, right? I don't know if it's just a case of every single member of the crew is romanceable. I don't know if the crew have preferences, which is what you'd want, right? For the characters to seem real, they would have their own. You know, if they themselves were straight or otherwise. So, if I'm choosing between all members of the crew here, okay, we've got Rex, but for the sake of Amanita's pelvis, that's probably a bad idea. That's disgusting, Matt. Right, Garrus. I quite like Garrus, to be fair. Garrus is interesting, right? Ashley. I don't really have much in common with Ashley. She's interesting. Caden, again, not really sure. Tali's very interesting, but she seems a little young, right? She's only like, what is she, like 19 or something? 20? I don't know how old she was supposed to be, because you go on your pilgrimage when you reach adulthood, right? So she's kind of wide-eyed. I mean, we are like half the age of Liara, right? She's like in her Biosari ages, isn't she? How old did she say she was? Is she like 60 something in human years? Sack it. Right, let's go for it.
No, you were right. There is something between us.
I knew it, and I knew you felt it too. But does this not seem rather strange? Why do I feel so close to you? We have only known each other a short time. We are from two different species. We have almost nothing in common. This makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking before as she was saying that, my thought was, you know, it doesn't always have to make sense, right? Sometimes it really just doesn't make sense. Sometimes something you just kind of feel something, even though you don't necessarily have. I think I've always found it in my experience in relationships that needing to have a lot of things in common is kind of a bit of a myth. At least obtuse things in common, you know, like similar hobbies or similar, you know, similar interests and stuff. It really doesn't need to be like that. Certain things, you know, might need to pair up, like certain values and stuff, or maybe your humor is an important thing. I think that things that you persistently share, like your humor, like your values, like certain ethics that you have in terms of, I don't know, I don't mean ethics in the political sense, I mean ethics in like just the day-to-day stuff, day-to-day, whereas specific interests, I almost find that it's better to have very different interests so that you don't kind of closet yourself in a relationship to doing the hobbies together. Like, I think I've always found it really important to have a hobby that, like, a partner doesn't have any interest in at all, so that that can be mine. Like, leave me alone for a bit, I want to go and do this. It doesn't have to make sense.
These things never make sense. They just happen and we get swept up in the storm.
You make it sound so chaotic, so dangerous.
I mean, that's why it can be fun, right? I mean, she's a scientist. She lives a very measured life. This could be something new for her, something interesting, right? That can be why it's fun.
A little danger makes things exciting.
This is all a bit overwhelming. I am not used to this. I need some time.
Yeah, I understand.
Take all the time you need, Liara. I'll be here.
Thank you, Shepard. Let's just talk about something else for now.
Yes. Okay. Can you tell me anything else about Asari culture? Is this because when we clicked on Benezia, it was a new line of dialogue compared to last time.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic.
Yeah.
Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us.
Yeah, we've heard this
The
bit.
galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Fascinating. I was genuinely just was not expecting that with Liara at all. That's cool though. She's interesting. Yeah. Doctor, you heard nothing. I don't want rumours going around the crew. Right, let's talk to Caden. Right there. Cadders.
Do you have some time to talk now, Commander?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Let's hear it, Lieutenant. I'm always open to my officers.
We've played it pretty close to the book so far, but we're a long way from backup. We've
What?
got some tough calls to make.
What the hell are you
Just saying,
talking about?
Try to leave yourself a way out. I've seen what cutting corners can do, and I'd hate to have that happen to you, Shepard. Commander.
What the hell are you talking about? So you're concerned about me?
It's a personal observation, Caden.
I don't want to step on anyone else's toes, especially if you're if I have misread your interests.
That's my business, mate.
I don't think you should be prying into my affairs.
There's my answer then. I'm sorry to have bothered you, Commander. I got some mixed signals. With your permission, I should return to my duties. Anything you need, Commander?
Tactical appraisal.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Killing Saren's, what was Benezia anyway? Second in command? Advisor? Anyway, it should set him back a bit.
True.
Sure Dr. Tassoni's hurting though. Poor kid. Having to kill her own mom.
What do you think about me releasing the Rachni Queen?
Any opinion on the Rachni?
Off the record, if we had the option, I'd as soon have left it to the Council. We weren't out here during the Rachni War. I'm not sure we have any business getting involved.
Fair enough. Interesting opinion. I wasn't really thinking about it that way. I guess that might have been what the top option would have been, right? I won't kill you, but I'm going to leave you here for others to decide. That might have been what that meant. Yeah, I'm really glad I chose to free it instead, because we know what the Council would have done. Or at least what the Turian would have done. Personal input?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
Sure.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Yeah. I've kind of nipped that in the bud then. Maybe I shouldn't have done. Anyway. Yeah, Liara's more... I don't know. Let's go talk to everyone else. I'm interested to talk to Garrus. I'm definitely going to bring Garrus on where we go next. I might go to this asteroid, which is the DLC stories, because it should be interesting. Rex is going to be upset with us. Oh, I've got some things for you. The cards, new whatever they are.
Looking for supplies?
I've got some new licenses.
What are licenses?
Manufacturer.
I've got new licenses,
Many
mate.
of the best licenses are hard to get, but they're well worth the cost if you can find them.
Let's see what you got.
Right, have you got any new basic stuff? Nope. Right, an amp. Have you got any amps? God damn it! Got the Phoenix 6 armor. 38 grand. That's a massive improvement though. Scorpion 4. Oh, wait a minute. We've got so much to sell, man. What's junk? What is junk? I don't know what it classes as junk. What's junk? $300,000 credits, man. Right, I need you guys to tell me. Okay, I'm gonna declaratively ask for advice here with selling. Is junk always good to sell? Should we always just clear out our junk? What does that sell? Does that just sell duplicates or guns that are much lower level, or like you know, like if we've got the Edge 4, would that, but we've got a few Edge 3s, would it just sell the Edge 3s based on that idea? So I'll let you guys inform me about that. Mr. Requisition Officer with no name. Hey there, Garrus.
Commander, good to see you.
And you.
You've been with C-Sec a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
Such as?
I bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate. That case was a bit disturbing.
How exactly?
What happened? Why were you investigating him?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
Is this common practice?
You've seen this before on the Citadel?
Every so often, some lab sells unwanted parts through the black market, but they're not as bad as the cycles. I remember this one Elcor diplomat we caught in my first year on the job. He was hacking people up and selling their organs.
Wow.
Had the station in a bit of a panic. But this case wasn't that clear-cut. Turns out there was more going on than we first realized.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've been kind of in... What's the right word for treating someone as a child? With the Elcor, because they have that kind of voice, they seem kind of harmless, and that's kind of insulting, right? What's the phrase? Infantilize, something. You know what I mean? God. What did you find?
So how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development, but there was nothing. No Solarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
Krogan testicle?
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility.
Okay.
Counteract the effects of the genophage.
Fair enough.
It doesn't work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set.
4?
Somebody's making a killing out there.
And what happened to the doctor?
What'd you do about the geneticist?
I brought in some of his employees for interrogation to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
Now, what did you come across?
Yeah? Go on.
One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We offered to patch him up and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Salion's employees. They were test tubes. Walking, living test tubes.
In what way?
He was growing parts inside these people?
Oh.
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off.
What?
Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good.
Fascinating.
Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in them. Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
It's reminding me of a bit in Observer. Check that playthrough out if you haven't, guys. But yeah, there was an organ farm in one of the buildings in that. And there's a fascinating moral dichotomy or moral dilemma in the whole thing, right? Of growing organs if it's at some kind of if it's at someone else's expense, right? But if they maybe are okay afterwards, like these people might be, is it worth it? Because you're going to potentially save someone else's lives with the organs. So it's just a strange one. Did you speak to him?
I hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
How come?
Why not? What the hell happened?
C-set
He
bureaucracy?
ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
So they just let him go?
But you went after him anyway, right?
Nope,
I ordered
C-Sec.
Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but C-Sec headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. We just used them to make more organs. They wouldn't listen.
I don't agree either way. I don't think either decision was good. I understand.
Well, you can't get them all.
No, but letting him get away like that. All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
I don't think it's a good option either way. I mean, at least by letting him go, his hostages might live a slightly longer life, but is a longer life of suffering better than ending the pain there and then? I'm not sure. It's a tough choice. C-Sec, the ship blowing up close to the Citadel could have hurt someone else, hurt people who weren't involved. It's a tough choice.
I suppose I can see both sides. But what's done is done.
I suppose. Can't waste too much time worrying about it now. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
Dr. Salian.
Do you have any idea what happened to Dr. Salian?
Interesting.
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to find something. I thought I'd found him a while back. He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart, his idea of a joke, I guess. I told the military, but they weren't convinced it was him. I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
Oh, sweet, Garrett. We're going to go check it out then, Garrus. Give it to me.
I'll check out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that. But Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Salion, I want to be there when you find him.
Awesome. Awesome. We're going to get quests from these guys. Beautiful. Where was it? Garrus gave the coordinates of Dr. Salian's last known whereabouts. Head to the Herschel system in the Kelper Verge. Right, we'll have a look at that on the galactic map. All right, Asher 45.
Commander?
How you doing?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
You mean the Rachni, right? They were dangerous, Commander. They proved that 2,000 years ago. I think it was a mistake to let them go. But that wasn't my call to make. It was yours.
Man, you and Rex.
You really should talk to T'Soni about her mom.
I have
she
done.
Has to be hurting. Just saying, Commander.
Would you like to chat?
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
Sure. I was just watching some mail from home.
Oh, before I go, we saw Caden in a news vid about the Normandy. He's cute. Later, sis.
Let's pretend this never happened.
The way she said that was just really deadpan. That was great. That was great. Every time I read Too Late, I have to say it the way that Homer Simpson says it in what episode of The Simpsons is it now? Too late! As if I can't remember that now. Caden, eh?
Are you interested in the Lieutenant, Chief?
Fraternization is against regulations, ma'am. Don't ask, don't tell. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on family mail.
What are your family like?
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
Well. So, how long was your dad away for? Did you not see him much? Bit of a fractious relationship, perhaps, as a result?
Did your father serve with the fleet?
Yeah, took any crap posting he could get that offered space time. You know what? He worked his ass off trying to get recognized, but he never made it above serviceman 3rd class. He was real proud when I made Chief. First thing he did was salute.
So was that tough on your mom?
What about your mother? You haven't mentioned her.
You must know what military wives are like. Strong because they have to be, able to raise kids while Dad's away on a 6-month cruise. She has a degree in planetary geology. She and Dad both wanted to see new worlds. She gave up her career to raise us, though.
And how many sisters did you say you had? I've forgotten.
You have more than one sister? Sounds like a big family.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, then Abby, then Lynn. Sarah's the youngest. She's still in high school. With 4 girls, Dad used to say he felt more outnumbered at home than on maneuvers.
Yeah, my cousin's got a life like that. 4 daughters. He's just slowly getting covered in glitter. The longer his life goes on. How often do you get home?
Where did you grow up?
All over. We transferred a half a dozen times before I finished grade school. You go where personnel command sends you, right? I guess that's why I'm so tight with my sisters. We'd have to leave all our friends every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, it's tough. So you raised your sisters with your mum as well?
After helping raise them, your sisters still talk to you? Amazing.
Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
How?
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a boyfriend who wanted to go faster than she did, Mike. I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vid mails, and I'd tell her to relax.
Vid mails?
Where were you when this was going on?
I was on active duty. Sarah's graduating high school this year. This was only a couple of years back.
Oh, okay.
They were on Amaterasu. At the time, I was assigned to Chernobog. Same cluster, but a dozen Hellwire away. Close enough to talk regularly, too far to make it back in an emergency. I couldn't afford a fast packet flight.
So, something changed?
Sounds like that situation didn't last.
Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods, because he figured it was past time they did the deed. She levered Mike face first into a tree and left. Didn't have a scratch on her. Good thing Mom and Dad had us all learn some kind of self-defense. I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
Okay, sounds like she killed the guy. What kind of self-defense?
You said all of your sisters learned self-defense?
Lynn did pistol practice, but didn't like it. She's kind of nervous. Sarah took Aikido.
Aikido?
Abby decided to learn the sword. She always was a little weird. Likes big skirts and tops you have to tie her into. They do great things to her figure, though.
Aikido? That's not gonna protect you from anything. It's gonna protect you from like a butterfly. Honestly. And what kind of defense did you learn?
So, what did you learn?
One of Dad's friends taught me Marine hand to hand.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, very dedicated of you.
You traveled all the way home to walk your sister to school.
It was only a dozen light years, like a day's cruise. It's not like I was going to Earth or something. My last day out, Mike was waiting for us. Sarah had told her friends, so everyone at school knew what he did. He wasn't happy. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look, this let me handle it, I need to do this alone look. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
Wow.
That's unbelievable. Sarah must be as good as you.
Better. I'm more or less a straight-up puncher. When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance. She told the paramedics he fell. Before they took him to the hospital, Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was gonna end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying. And she hugged him. The Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready. Not before, not after.
And where was your father in all this?
Where was your father during this? Wasn't your family stationed near him?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I've enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
Tennyson, great. Yeah, you read poetry?
I never thought I'd hear you reciting poetry.
Just because I can drill you between the eyes at 100 meters doesn't mean I can't like sensitive stuff.
Sensitive.
Just don't spread it around. Ulysses was my dad's favorite
Tennyson,
poem.
though.
Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had a dozen versions when he retired.
Really?
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home.
Oh,
Dad
Ashley.
passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though.
Yeah, sure he is. What the hell? That's a horrible thing to say. Nobody would say that. Nobody. So you're religious? You believe in the afterlife?
You mean from wherever we go after death?
Dead on, Skipper. He's with God now. That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
No. Yeah, interesting. I wonder what... I haven't really got a scope of what human beliefs around religion are now that we're in space, right? Well, I can't imagine that would degrade how devout a lot of people were, right? I always believe that I'm an atheist. I don't like religion in most of its forms, the monolithic religions in particular. But I believe particular aspects of it, like the fear of the belief in the afterlife, stem from the fear of death, right? It's almost like a blissful ignorance. To live your life to the fullest, you need to believe that this isn't it. So it helps alleviate your fear of it in a lot of ways, I suppose. I don't. But it's not a problem with me, I guess. Just as long as you're not like that Hannah on the Citadel trying to preach. No, it's not my place to judge you.
Your beliefs are your business. I'm your commanding officer, not your moral compass.
I appreciate that, Skipper. I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
Good chat, Ashley.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
Ashley and Caden. Ooh, what's this codex entry going to be about? Humanity and the Systems Alliance? Maybe we'll get something on religion. We've got to talk to everyone, man. These episodes where we talk to people after missions do take a long time, so...
What do you want, Shepard?
He's still going to be pissed about the Rachni.
Why did you become a mercenary?
Lots of reasons.
Yeah?
Such as?
Such as, I needed to get out of our system. I needed to eat. I needed to survive.
Okay, but why did you need to leave?
Why not stay and help your people?
I tried to help. That's why I had to leave.
Oh, you were exiled, really?
What happened?
I was betrayed. I was head of a small tribe. We were trying to restore order after the war.
but the other tribes were against us.
Right.
They followed Jared, one of the few warlords who survived the war with the Turians. But he was old, and so were his ideas. He wanted to continue the war. He wanted us to fight. Turians, Solarians, each other. It didn't matter who, as long as we were fighting.
And what did you believe?
What did you want?
I just wanted Jared to shut up, to stop his ranting. I wanted him to stop leading the tribes astray. But he couldn't understand how much things had changed. We didn't have the numbers to go to war. Even if we did, the genophage made sure we couldn't replenish our numbers fast enough. I told them all to forget about war. We needed to focus on breeding.
Yeah.
At least for one generation. And for a while, we were getting through. Some of the tribes started coming around.
Wow, you're a real revolutionary, Rex. What about Jared? What happened?
I take it the warlord didn't appreciate that.
No, he didn't. He arranged a crush with the tribes. A meeting on neutral ground. He wanted to talk.
An ambush?
We met at the Hollows, near the graves of our ancestors. The skulls of our dead laid bare to remind us where we come from, and where we all go. It's as sacred as any Krogan place can be. Violence is forbidden.
But you still went.
Sounds like a trap to me.
Yeah.
You must have suspected as much.
I did. But when your father invites you to a crush, well...
Yeah, fair
there
enough.
are some laws that even we hold sacred.
He was your... Wait, he was your father?
Jared was your father?
He
Wow.
was. Until that day. We talked, but we didn't get anywhere. When it was clear that I wouldn't join him, he gave the signal. His men leapt from the graves of our ancestors like Krogan undead. The few that were loyal to me died quickly. I escaped with my life, but not before I sank my dagger deep into my father's chest. That is why I left, and that's why I'll never go back.
Oh, that's rough, mate. That is really, really rough. Do you have any other family?
You must have family other than your father. Don't you miss them?
You trying to make me cry, Shepard?
Yes.
I've got some unfinished business with my family, but that's all.
Really?
What kind of business?
Before I left, I made an oath to my father's father. I swore to recover my family's battle armor.
Oh, we're
it was
getting a
taken
quest.
from him after the uprising.
What kind of armor is it?
What's so important about this armor?
It's a relic. Useless, really. But it was worn by 5 generations of my family before the war.
Yeah.
It's rightfully mine. Originally, it was taken by the Turian military. We weren't allowed armor or weapons after the war. Now, it's in the hands of Taun Actus, a Turian scum who collects relics from the war. He's made millions selling Krogan artifacts that were stolen from my people. He's got several bases where he stores his goods, all fortified and guarded. I just don't know which base has my family's armor.
Well, we're going there, Rexy.
Just tell me where to start looking.
I'll upload the data to your nav system.
Yep.
Commander, I want to be there when you find him.
Sweet.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Awesome. Right, we've got a couple of quests. One for Garrus, one for Rex. We've just done one for Liara, essentially, right? Maybe we'll get ones for Ashley and Caden as well. Maybe for Tali too. I would love to see the Quarian flotilla. That would be a sight to behold, right? Maybe that's what's at the asteroid. Who knows? Hey there, Tali. Not spoke to you for a while.
Shepard, I'm glad you're here.
Now you sound like you're feeling better.
Good to see you smiling again, so to speak.
I'm sleeping much better now. I guess I'm getting used to how quiet your ship is.
Excellent.
I still think a lot about my pilgrimage, though. I know Saren's our top priority, but with all the worlds we go to, I was hoping to find something to bring back to the flotilla.
Such as?
What are you hoping to find?
Usually, people bring back something like a derelict ship we can use for salvage. But I need something bigger. There's a lot expected of me.
Why you in particular?
What's so special about you?
It's my father. He's the senior member of the Admiralty Board. He's one of only 5 people who can overrule the decisions of the Conclave for the good of the migrant fleet. My father is responsible for the lives of 17 million people. Our entire race is in his hands, and I'm his only child.
Your Highness.
So are you some kind of heir to the Quarian throne or something?
No, it doesn't work that way. My father's position isn't hereditary. I'll probably never serve on the Admiralty Board myself. Officially, I'm just the same as any other citizen.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work that way in practice. People have always treated me differently because of who my father is.
Preferential treatment?
You must get all kinds of special privileges.
I probably had it easier than most growing up, but it's not all good. People like my father have enemies, and they're not above using me to get to him.
It's a lot of pressure on your shoulders.
It must be tough on you.
My people place a high value on family and ancestry. There's an unspoken expectation that I'll live up to my father's example. Everyone's waiting for me to do something great on my pilgrimage, something that will forever change our lives for the better. If I don't, it's like I failed, and that reflects badly on both me and my father.
Well, what if we save the galaxy?
The work you're doing here is more important than anything any Quarian's ever done before.
Well, we don't know that.
Yes, I know. But you have to understand Quarian culture. We're a very insular society. The events beyond the flotilla don't much matter to the average citizen. Our greatest dream is that one day we'll return to our homeworld and drive out the Geth. But even if we stop Saren, that's not going to happen. There's still millions of Geth behind the veil. Until they're gone, our exile will continue.
So what do you need to do?
What would you need to bring back to make everyone happy?
Something that would help us better understand the Geth.
Right.
They've changed significantly since the exile. They've continued to evolve. We've done our best to study them, but it's not easy. They're very reclusive. Until recently, they never went beyond the borders of the Veil. And all the Geth we run into now are under Saren's control. We'd need to find Geth operating on their own, independently. But I don't want this to get in the way of our mission, Shepard. First, we stop Saren. Then I'll worry about my own problems.
Oh, come on. Your father?
What was your father like?
It wasn't easy growing up as the daughter of one of the Admiralty. Even before he joined the board, he was a prominent figure. People looked to him for leadership. He had to set an example, and he expected the same of his daughter. Plus, he was pretty strict, a military man through and through. He never allowed me to settle for anything less than excellence. As a kid, I sometimes felt like he was pushing me too hard. But now, I'm old enough to appreciate what he taught me. The world doesn't owe us anything. If we want something in life, we have to earn it.
Did you know your mother at all?
Where was your mother in all this?
Mother was around, but she always seemed to kind of blend into the background. Almost like she was overshadowed by my father. He tends to do that to people. She passed on about 5 years ago. Some airborne virus that swept through the fleet. Happens sometimes when the filters start to break down. I think my father took it pretty hard. After she was gone, he became even more focused on his work. I think that was his way of dealing with the grief.
So you were always close with him?
Sounds like a tough upbringing. You don't resent your father at all?
Like I said, it wasn't easy. My father's not the kind of person you bond with.
Oh, right.
And he wasn't around all that much. Too busy. People counted on him, and he took his duties seriously. Even when he was around, he always seemed a bit distant. Like his mind was always somewhere else. Come to think of it, I can't ever remember seeing him smile. Not once. It's like he was always weighed down by all that responsibility. I mean, I know he cares about me, but he never really showed it. Not in the usual way. I guess the best thing I can say about my father is that I respect him.
Okay, so a distant relationship then.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
I need to check these to see if they've changed the Geth.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. All I know is the story of their origins. What they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Okay.
I want to talk about something else.
So that's what we've heard already.
Like what?
None of these have changed. Right, good chat, Tali. I wish we had the option to to opt in for her mission to learn more about the Geth.
I should go.
See you later.
Okay, we've got a bunch of codex entries to catch up on, so we'll do that in the next episode, guys. I'm going to leave this one there. Really fascinating. We picked up a lot of missions. We've learned a lot about everyone except for Caden. Yeah, we've kind of got the start of like some sort of romance with Liara, it seems, which just completely blindsided me. But you know, she's a very interesting character, so I'm all for it. We kind of shot Caden down, I guess, but I wasn't particularly interested in that kind of thing with him anyway. Like I said, I'm not playing my Shepard any which way as a plan. I'm just kind of going off of feel. And Liara seems interesting. We learned about Rex. We learned about his kind of his dark family history, how he was a really progressive leader trying to solve the genetic problems of the Krogan, and things all went wrong due to the warring nature of his father. Really quite tragic. I hope we can help him eventually. But we've got a quest to go and find some of his family armor. We learned about kind of Garrus being his being a kind of headstrong agent and struggling with the bureaucracy with CSEC, and this one case that was kind of left unsolved with this kind of evil doctor, Dr. Hart. And we learned about Ashley and her family and how she's kind of almost like a surrogate mother for all her sisters, although her mother was still there, but she had to play a big role in raising her younger sisters, and how family were important to her, how she moved around a lot. She didn't really know her father as well as she would have liked to, and Tali as well, not with kind of some family problems as well. So fascinating stuff, guys. I think I'm going to go to that asteroid, the DLC missions, in the next episode, so we'll pick it up from here. Hope you enjoyed this one. Leave me a thumbs up if you did, and just remember, everybody, never trust an uncrate. I'll see you back on board the Normandy.